just talk a bit because
Yay.
we have to wait
Hello,
until
stream.
people get in, right? So, hello everybody.
Yes. And yes.
So this is now, let's just wait for a bit.
Let's just talk about not. Wait. My abo.
Gotta close all those windows. Okay. And I'm gonna mute Skype before I forget it again.
You're gonna mute me?
No, just go on away so I don't get all those Skype sounds. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, but we gotta wait for a minute or so, or how was it?
I don't know, like
Like
a
for
minute.
guys that maybe 2 minutes. I mean, people might come in later.
Yeah, we're not
And
exactly in
still
a
gets
hurry
advertising.
anyway, so here we are anyway.
Okay, okay. Again, I totally fucked up my TrueMG emoticon.
The words, language, Hannah. Mind your language.
I totally freaked up.
Yes. Yeah. So, good evening or good morning or whatever time you have at your place. Welcome to another dev stream of CrossCode. Today you have to deal with me again. I'm Laxen, aka Felix, and with me on Skype is again Henne, like last time, aka Geflügel.
Yes. Hello. I'm a chicken. Bok, 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 bok.
Yeah, though the one true chicken you only find in Chicken Sword, I'm afraid. That's the one true chicken.
True. By the way, do we want to share that amazing fan art of you in the chat? Because it's really amazing.
I don't mind. Let's say it like this. I still have to get used to the thought that people draw me as a person.
Give me a second. Yeah,
still pretty cool. Thanks.
As long as they still don't do Rule 34 fan arts of us, it's all.
Yes, we already had that
right.
actually. We already had that actually, in fact. But I'm not going to share that.
Wait.
Yes.
Of us?
Of me
in
particular.
No. No.
It wasn't very graphical, fortunately, but yeah.
No.
I'm going to show you later. Never mind. No.
Okay, but not here in chat. But the other fan art is, I especially like the Monado site or Skype.
Kind of looks like this, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of is a Monado, I think.
And the Lea plushie, I guess.
The Lea plushie is best. I mean, and of course your standard T-shirt, the Rufflecopter.
Actually, that's. Yeah, well, I'm not doing this today. I'm just have a very bland T-shirt today.
Yeah, but you did wear it quite a few times.
So here's for everybody to see again that thing. Okay, so right, let's do some game development because that's what we are streaming, game development.
Oh really?
Yes, it says
I thought this was a cooking stream.
Yeah.
Because of the fish and the chicken.
Do they have cooking on Twitch already? I would watch that.
I mean, officially, the thing is officially, you are supposed to only stream like games and related stuff on Twitch. But then again, I mean, the weekly manga recap stream is also on Twitch, and it's not a gaming stream. So I guess they could do that. They could do like Cooking Mama, for example.
Yep. Anyway, so there's again several things we can work on, and I think it's good to have another poll to just vote what people are interested in. So the first thing we can do is similar to last time, do some sprite art. We can work on the chipset from Rookie Harbor. You know, remember last time we did the marketplace, and we actually kept working on the marketplace already. It's pretty much done already, at least graphic-wise. We still have to do a lot of mapping. That's what Stefan is working on right now, actually. And otherwise, we can I mean, what's left to do in Rookie Harbor is the fountain. That's something we already suggested last time, so we can work on the fountain. That's something we'll have in the center of some kind of plaza in the city. And also stuff like an arc that you can walk below. Some kind of arc. It's kind of like, imagine a bridge of some higher platform that you can
Hmm?
walk below and just creating the arc graphics. So that's actually not a lot of work. That's something I can do in 15 minutes or maybe 30 minutes because it's a stream. Um, so I think that's something we
Well,
can do. So
let's.
just create some map graphics. The other thing we can do is some programming. I actually worked on this morning. I started working on a new editor. Uh, Maybe you remember the animated map tiles we have created a couple of streams ago, and today I could create a proper editor where you can configure how tiles are animated. Because you remember last time I had to just write inline code to actually define the animations, and now the idea is to have some kind of asset that can be modified with an editor, and that's an editor we can write today. And that way you can actually see how we create editors, at least a little
Mhm.
bit. It's a bit hard to show the whole process in a stream, but you get some impression how we do editors for our engine, and that might be interesting for you as well, I guess. So I think that's pretty much the two options we have. We either can do some sprite art, doing graphics to Rookie Harbor. That's the first option. Or the second option is we do some programming, creating a new editor to configure map animations. So I
Mhm.
suggest we create a small poll and get some votes, and depending on the outcome, we will do one or the other, as usual.
Mhm. Okay. Did our queen of moderation already do the straw poll?
Uh,
Whatever. Whatever.
yep, she
Oh,
did. Very nice.
yes.
Very quick.
She's
Sprite art, coding for animated map tiles. Perfect.
okay. Um, Now I'm gonna do an ancient German ritual to decide my vote. Ene, mene, mu und raus bist du. Okay, Sprite Art.
Sprite art is okay.
Adlessa is kind of right. The fan art kind of looks like a mix between a Monado and the Crescent Rose from Ruby.
Oh yeah,
You know, the main
that's
weapon
kind of
of
true.
the main character, but it kind of lacks the sniper rifle aspect of it. So it's really more of a normal Monado scythe. No, in quotation marks.
Hmm.
And yes, rest in peace, Monty
So
We
what
all
do I
miss you.
vote for? It's hard to say. I'm probably gonna vote for coding because I suspect most people will vote for Sprite art again. I always go against the
It's
stream.
true.
Oh no, actually more people go for voting this time. Coding, that's interesting.
Oh, damn it. Now I misvoted.
Nah,
Okay.
I mean you didn't care in the first place, right? Which one?
I'm just worried that coding wouldn't be as interesting for most people. Right?
Oh, I think
But then again,
I hope I
I
can
mean,
get some quick results this time because I already started
it
working
is
on it this
interesting.
morning.
I mean, it is very interesting, but it's if people just come in the chat and see something graphical and sprites,
Yeah,
they,
it attracts more people, that's true. Then again, today is Monday, and I get the impression Monday is not quite as effective as Sunday in the first place, so, uh, um,
yep,
but never mind. Let's just, we
yeah,
do what the
true. I mean,
people want. I mean, that's what we are here for. Mm.
we do what the people want. This is
Oh
it.
man, I just realized that we're now doing
Democracy.
yet another dev stream, which is public, and now I think some people who have the watcher tier might start thinking, what did they actually get this tier for? And I think we probably should start doing the watcher program where watchers can actually make suggestions, ask questions, and get
Yeah,
special permissions for the streams. Maybe.
Moderator post, yay! Every watcher gets to be a moderator.
Oh no, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Anyway, so just let me talk about this again. I mean, I talked about this before, but maybe some people didn't see that.
Mhm.
So the idea is that watchers were supposed to get exclusive development streams, dev streams, and now the thing is, doing the exclusive private streams is kind of inconvenient. For one thing, we
Mhm.
probably need to pay to do this, some servers, because those streams are usually not for free. And it's also less interesting because there's like fewer people who would watch it. There's less conversation going on in parallel. So I
Mhm.
think it would just be less interesting. So I think having public streams is in general more interesting. So that's what I would like to keep the public streams and do something else so that the watcher tier people get at least something for the money. And the idea was that they get some exclusive permissions to ask questions, to make suggestions, what to do in the stream, or maybe to have some exclusive votes only for the watcher tier, so they can actually vote what will happen in the stream instead of everybody. So
Mhm.
and I think that's something I would like to do, and we probably will write all the watcher people pretty soon over the new cross central system. Um, I mean, it's something that we introduced last week, the Cross Central. That's now for everybody who pledged for CrossCode can now log into the Cross Central and can see the tiers they got and can write us if something is not right with the tiers. I mean, sorry, the perks. It's called perks in
Perks,
Indiegogo.
yeah.
And and
Stupid Indiegogo.
yeah, and what we can do too is now send messages to people with specific perks. So that's something I'm gonna do probably this week. Just write a mail. Um, to everybody with watcher perks or above and ask them if it's alright to do public streams with exclusive rights. And if a serious amount of people actually says no, I want to have my private streams, then we of course have probably need to do this after all. But I just hope that most watcher people don't really care about this. At least that's what I hope for. And
Yeah, I guess even the watcher people wouldn't want to have a stream that only is populated by like 10 or 20 people at most. So
yeah,
I mean, more people in the stream normally means more fun, as long as it keeps being moderated.
yeah. So yeah, this will probably happen this week. I will just write down some kind of small to do for that so I don't forget about it.
Yeah, Twitch is also it's okay. I mean, it is laggy once in a while, but I guess it's normal when I'm Skyping meanwhile. Also, we have a first question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what camera slash computer are you on that your stream is so clear?
Is it? I mean, I'm just using the integrated camera of my ThinkPad laptop, which is a T520. And
Advertisement.
oh, come on! Oh, what the fuck! I
Should
really
I
have to be.
post the Amazon link?
No, don't. It's just a ThinkPad. Come on, it's just one type
Yeah,
of
yeah,
laptop.
okay.
Anyway, I have to say I'm also often surprised how good this camera is. Like, I like it a lot. This webcam, this laptop. So it's just an integrated camera. Unfortunately, I'm not sure you can buy it separately.
Mhm. By the way, I think we should also do another blog update today or tomorrow about a lot of things, but also about the
Yeah, I
watcher
think
tiers.
that's one
It might
thing.
be
Yeah, we
ready.
should do a blog update, but actually something big will happen this week, most likely.
Hmm. True.
I think we can spoil as much. So most likely we will start our early access program this week on Steam,
Yay.
and
Thanks, Atlassian.
once that happens, we will have some big news, some big update for everybody, and
Big
so
news, so.
um, like already to not get your hopes up too high, like right from the beginning. The new early access version will most likely not feature that much more content, unfortunately.
Hmm.
But there will be a bit more content. You can see the new items that you can collect. You have trading in the new version. You can collect items, But the thing is, once you get the version, it will update, so you get new updates over and over again. We will try to at least get an update every month, I think. That's something we will go
Hmm.
for, hopefully more often. And so you will just be the first to see all the new content, at least among the first people who sees the new content. And so for everybody who's interested, and of course everybody who pledged at least 25 euros on Indiegogo will get access to the early access version.
Hmm.
And so that's hopefully gonna happen this week. I mean, we are currently preparing everything to make it happen. And yeah, another thing we should mention is also that we actually gonna be on another fair this week in Germany. There's this
Hmm.
role-playing convention in Cologne, and we actually gonna be there and present CrossCode. So if you just happen to be in Cologne and you just happen to have a ticket for the role-playing convention, you can actually visit us there and say hi. Yeah.
It's called RPC for role playing convention or something, or role playing Cologne or something
Is it
along that
that?
line. And
Let me just
it's this one, right? RPC. Wait, it's not. It's not connecting properly.
let me just find the web page.
Yeah,
RPC
of course it
minus
is.
Germany.
Wait, I have the page already.
Yeah, it's just role-playing convention. It's such an original name. Yeah, you
Why
got it.
not? But it could also be role playing Cologne. I mean,
Maybe they don't want to.
because then,
Maybe they don't want to focus on one city in particular.
but it's always in Cologne, isn't it?
I guess, but it's probably because Cologne is just a good city for these kind of events.
They could have called it RPCC. Would sound so much more
Mm.
international and cool. And I think you will also be able to pledge with PayPal as you could have done with Indiegogo.
Yeah. So mm, Steam should work without credit card, or does it only work with
Yeah,
credit
of
card?
course.
So that.
Steam is PayPal. Steam is working with PayPal.
Hmm. So yeah, that's the plan at least. Okay, let's see. We got pretty much coding. Interesting. Okay, so today we're gonna do some code. Guess people saw enough from Rookie Harbor already.
Yeah,
Um,
we had quite a few spread out streams already.
mhm.
Maybe that's why.
Okay. Oh yeah, coding will be kind of complicated because I need to switch screens pretty often. Let's see how that works out. Maybe I should switch to desktop mode. I could do this.
It will be fine.
Hmm. But then you see everything I'm doing.
To be honest, I think I should actually uh, read a bit about that role-playing convention first, because I've honestly never been there and I've never really heard much about it. So it might be a good idea to just see what uh, what to actually expect when we, when we, when we are there. Like, okay, it has
Yeah.
like classic role-playing, video game role-playing, cosplays, labs,
Hmm.
and stuff. All
Actually, I
right.
have also no idea what this convention is exactly about. So we just see, I guess.
Wait a second. They actually got Game of Thrones actors there, or
Seriously?
is it just? No, wait. I'm just gonna look at it now.
Well, that's gonna be cool.
Actually, they have the actress that played Yara or Asha. You know, the sister of Theon.
Oh.
And the absolute best, they have Hodor.
Oh my gosh. I so need an autograph from this guy.
I
Uh,
think we should introduce Hodor to Leia
yeah, that
for interesting conversations.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
Hodor, hi, Hodor, hi, Hodor, hi, Hodor,
And so
hi,
on and so on.
and so on.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
okay. Adlessa, will you be there this time as well? I mean, you are living nearby, I think.
Right. So, So while we wait
Oh,
for an answer, I think I'm now gonna start doing some extra programming. Um,
oh,
let's close
that's
the poll. Let's
amazing.
close the artwork. Let's switch to. Let's look at stream. I think I will now switch to monitor mode and see how it works out for the beginning, because I think otherwise it would just be too confusing. I will just mess up, forget showing the right display, and people won't see what's going on. So let's just work in monitor mode as long as performance not too bad. Okay, so the first thing, CrossCode has a multitude of, we have a lot of different editors, and they are all web applications, which makes sense because the engine is running in the web. So it's just like having a web page that is an editor. And now this editor we are now creating is something where you essentially attach information for all the graphics that are used for maps, and so like the tile sets that are attached to the different map layers, they get
Mm,
additional informations like what tiles are actually animated. And that's pretty cool because we already have an editor which is very similar. It's called the terrain editor. So let's just have a look at this one. Just for an example, the terrain editor looks like this. So we have a couple of tile sets or chip sets as we call them because we are like RPG Maker people. And it's very simple. You just got tiles, and here you got the different terrain types, and I can just go ahead and assign different terrain types to the different tiles here. So terrain IDs to the different tiles. So
mm,
that's a rough idea. And now the editor we're gonna create today is more complex, unfortunately, because it's also about that we have to now define a sequence of tiles that will define an animation, and of course you can have multiple animations. I already started working in this direction, and now I'm gonna start the editor, and it might just break because it's actually the first time I'm opening this editor. Well, at least, okay, it seems to work. Because what I did is, well, I just copied the terrain editor. That's why it looks very similar right now.
mm.
And you can see already there's a bunch of errors. Um,
But it's good that it's similar. It makes it easier
yeah, and that's
to get
something.
into it.
Yeah, it's what I always do. Just copy existing code and try to modify it. It just saves a lot of time. I think most people do that, really. Okay, right. So terrain. Let's just open the tile info. Okay, an editor is usually composed. Let me just show the file system here. So we have the lib folder, which contains code for the individual editors. There's like the map editor, which is this huge editor. It's by far the most complex editor because it just designed the actual game content, the maps. And now terrain editor is pretty small, and now we have this tile info editor, which is just as small, really. And it consists of an HTML where we just define the basic interface elements, and then some pretty huge JavaScript file which does all the interactive stuff. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just remove the drawing here, because we actually don't want to draw anything in this editor. The reason is because in the terrain editor we just drew the current tile set in the background. Because the editor was pretty simple, it just always saw one tile set and you had to add some information. Now, this editor we're working on is a bit more complex. We're not going to use the drawing functionality, at least for now. So if I now update, it will just be gray probably. So nothing interesting to see. Exactly. So we still got a couple of errors. Let's see what's this about. Wait a second, that's a strange message. Oh, I guess. Oh yeah, there are some dependencies which are not all that well done. Yeah, the dependency system in our code is kind of funny in that way. It's the same system used in Impact. So you define modules, which you define a name, and each module requires a certain set of other modules. And that way you can make sure that when you use a certain class like the setting editor here, that you make sure that it is loaded before this code is executed. Now the funny thing is, you don't have to do this because sometimes it just happens that this file is included after this the file defining the setting editor was included, but it's not guaranteed. There's always a bit of randomness. So if you forget a certain requirement like this, it might happen most of the time, and then all of a sudden it doesn't. And now this might seem annoying, but it's not that bad because when we actually will go to production, like if we now bake the whole game in release mode, there is one static connection, and if this one works, it's guaranteed that it works. So at least in release mode, we don't have this randomness factor. That's the thing that counts. So that should help, hopefully. Are there any questions or anything going on?
At the moment, no. Adlessa is considering cosplaying as Leia or Shizuka.
Yeah.
Yay, we need cosplayers. And someone and is furious is considering to cosplay Manleia.
Oh gosh. That would be like that if there would be first a man Leia cosplay before there is a Leia cosplay. That would be just pretty defeating.
Why do you use PHP Designer and not WebStorm?
Because I used to work with PHP. That's why I got a PHP
Or
Storm
PHP
license.
Storm?
Yeah, CrossCode doesn't really use much PHP. There's actually very little bit PHP code, mostly for some server-side stuff related to the editors, like saving files. But it's most of the time, WebStorm would be enough, yeah. But since I already got the PHP Storm license, and sometimes I have to work with PHP Storm, that's why I got it. It's kind of like more or less it's a superset, but not entirely because WebStorm is usually more up to date or updated more quicker, so it's not quite as good for HTML and JavaScript.
Will you go to the 2016 Gamescom? I think so, right?
Yeah, we
mean,
really plan to
maybe.
go there, but we still have to really plan this ahead a bit more.
Gamescom is in which month is it again? I forget. Let
Gamescom?
me just look. Yeah, Gamescom.
When it is?
Is it in
Okay,
which month
something
is it?
is wrong here. I'm sorry. I think
Yeah, I'm just gonna
something.
look up myself.
Yeah, I have to. Let me just do some
It's in
stuff here.
August. I mean, if everything goes well, then the CrossCode will already be released in August 2016.
August 2016.
16, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. um,
I mean, hopefully, yes. I mean,
if everything goes well, though it will be actually. I recently did a bit of calculations how fast we actually have to work to get things done, and it'll be very quick. Yeah.
gotta go fast, basically.
Gotta go fast. Editors. Yeah, that's the thing. So I have to just include a certain feature, and I think that will fix everything. Hopefully. It's kind of weird why I never saw these errors before. That kind of makes sense though. Yeah. So what I just did is it's essentially, okay, we have some kind of like editor infrastructure. Let me just shortly talk about it so it's more interesting for people. We implemented some kind of editor infrastructure where you kind of like, imagine you define types, and each type that you use in your editor, in Waldmeister, in this editor system, has some editor attached to it. Yeah, it's called Weltmeister. It's actually a name we took over from Impact.js. If you think about it, it's a very nice pun. Weltmeister means a world master. It also means like, yeah, the champion who wins some competition like football, I know, but you actually like, it's
Deutschland
true.
ist Weltmeister.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of is like people already forgot about it, I think. Anyway, so it's very
Some
nice
people.
pun. Anyway, um, so each editor that is defined to these kind of types, so yeah, essentially you have these types, and each type is connected to an editor, and we actually made it in a way that it's very easy to define new editors for new types that we just add to the engine as we go along. So just to give some example, in some of the features like NPCs, we define special editors which are designed for NPCs, like the NPC states editor. That's just one editor that defines the individual states of an NPC. And if we look at it, how it looks in game, just wait for a second. I can show you how this
Mhm.
looks like.
Yeah,
Um,
you haven't missed much, Ediac. We just uh, talked a bit about the future of the live streams and decided that we would do coding today.
yep, we do coding. Sorry about that. But I think I will try to keep it interesting by just showing a lot of the infrastructure that we used. So what you see here, that's essentially the NPC states editor. Okay, it looks very complex because it's like a tab editor. You have like individual pages. Again, very similar to the RPG Maker. For those people who know the program, it's like each of the stage defines a different state of the NPC, which includes some kind of condition which determines which of the pages is actually active at the moment. A position. So what we can actually do is change the position of the NPC depending on the state, like how you can, if you can push the NPC or not, if it's fixed or if it's actually even the direction is fixed, what direction it's viewing, like what kind of configuration it has for the movement, what kind of action it performs, and all kind of stuff. And this editorial is really looks very complex, but actually it's defined in this file. I mean, this file really defines the whole editor that I just showed you. Um, and that's very little code for such a huge editor. And we do this by
Mhm.
essentially trying to just finding generic editor types that we can just reuse as effectively as possible as we go along. Just to give an example, we have one editor for a number, which is just giving you a field to input a number. The same for a string. And then we got an editor. Let me just look for some examples. Um, some base editors. Then we got like a generic JSON editor. That's something that you can use if you just have one JSON file and you don't really care about what it is exactly. You can just use the JSON editor, and with it you can just create any kind of JSON data. And that's like if you just create a new type and you just want to input it and you don't care about the editor, you can just use the JSON editor because it will work. You can just input it. It's not maybe not very fast, but it works.
Mhm.
And it's actually the default editor if no editor is defined. And then you have stuff
Yeah.
like the step editor is actually one generic editor that is used for stuff like actions, events, and much more stuff these days. It's kind of like this editor you see down here where we define individual entries. And it's not just this list, it's about double clicking, adding a new entry, then getting the sub editor and inserting that. This kind of system, we kind of like try to decouple it, and then we can reuse it for all kind of other editors. Like the action editor is actually based on the same system. You can double click, you can select the system, and you insert it. You can delete it. You can also copy stuff that actually comes automatically with that editor. That you can just copy stuff. So and that works pretty well. And actually, we are going to using this component in particular for our animation editor too. For this tile animation editor we're going to do today.
Mhm.
So just as some small impression how our editor code is structured in CrossCode. Um, and
Mhm.
yeah, what didn't work right now is I essentially didn't include the dependencies to all these base editors. That's why I got all these errors. I just include this and now everything works again. That's how I got to this topic anyway. Right. Questions?
All
Otherwise I will
right.
not just continue doing
Questions
stuff.
here. are some ex-SAE students working with Radical Fish, and SAE means this a private school based in Cologne or Berlin, where you can study programming, game design, and game art. I think not, because we don't have anyone from Cologne and Berlin.
Nope, not really. So nobody in our team really studied in any of these schools. So we're just a bunch of programmers and graphic designers and similar people. So that's pretty much it. Uh, I think this whole thing about studying game design is actually pretty young in Germany, and
Definitely.
I think it there. There is probably some sense in doing this. Most likely, I'm
Um,
not gonna say it's probably doesn't make any sense to do this, but
and like T3 and
oh, that's true actually. Yeah, I mean,
Freeze.
our two designers, like our sprite animator T3 and our concept artist Freeze, they're actually like in some kind of school which is focusing on game design. So they're actually doing something like this, and I think it's in general it's a very good thing to get a lot of practical knowledge, but they're also doing a lot of theoretical stuff about game design. So mm. I'm always a bit concerned because German game industry is so much about mobile games.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
always like turns me off about German game industry. It's it's probably what
Uh,
most of these studies are kind of like focused on. I think interesting thing now from what I know is that at our T3, not sure much I'm allowed to talk about this, but he's actually planning to go to UK, and in order to do that, he has to get more knowledge in 3D modeling and doing 3D graphics, and that's kind of interesting.
mhm.
So it seems like in UK they're much more focused on AAA games with 3D graphics.
Wouldn't surprise me, honestly, because in the UK, I mean,
You get a lot
they
of
are
good,
much,
great big studios there. I mean, there's Rare,
yeah,
right,
and
and others.
Rare and some others, and I mean, the UK in general just has an entirely different mentality about the topic. I mean, even in France,
Mm-hmm.
it's completely different. In France, you also have like a lot of creative studios for not just video games, also for animation, for example. I mean, for example, Wakfu or Dofus or
Mm-hmm.
whatever names those games and animation series have, they are also from France, and they are also pretty high quality
Yep.
in many aspects.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so now I'm gonna do some programming again. So I think.
And another question was here about
Mm-hmm.
something. Yeah, does JavaScript requires J JVM to run?
Oh no, doesn't because it's not Java. There's this nice saying, like Java is to JavaScript, like ham is to hamster. Those two things have nothing in common, nothing to do with each other. Maybe a little bit of syntax, but no,
You could
JavaScript
use
is
both.
like a whole different language. There's no real relationship to Java, so there is no JVM. It's just JavaScript runs natively in every browser you have today. There is no browser today that does not support JavaScript, unless maybe it's some very, very, very secure browser that cannot run most of the stuff you find on the web today. Those might actually disable JavaScript.
And there are plugins that disable the JavaScript, for example, or you can disable it manually. But normally, every browser should be able
Mm-hmm.
to do it, unless you disable it. What's this? I
Okay.
totally forgot that today was stream. Well, yeah, normally we stream on Sunday, so it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to
Like I
forget.
have been very busy this weekend because I was not, I was aware I was on kind of wedding, and so I didn't really find the time to do the dev stream this Sunday. So sorry about that. So I guess this week we will have it again on Sunday. So we will try to get this to keep the Sunday schedule.
Are you sure? This week?
Oh crap! Oh come on. Yeah,
This week
like
is
this Sunday is role playing convention, so actually so we are probably again not gonna have to stream on Sunday,
yeah.
unless maybe Stefan is gonna do it. Depends.
Yeah.
Maybe he will be ready to do a stream this Sunday. Otherwise, he might do it on Monday again.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's
No.
uh,
Actually, let me
Monday,
just
Sunday.
switch on the light for a second. I'll be back.
Felix is a Terminator. He'll be back. So, 60 people watching. 61. Not bad for a Monday. We were pretty worried that barely anyone would show up on this kind of time.
Okay, I'm back.
That's mean.
What's
Colonial said, my programming teacher always said, Java is an Iron Man. JavaScript is his disabled nephew. It's
Your
mean.
teacher has no idea. No one, no. It's really, I mean, a lot of people were bashing JavaScript and still are, and I mean, the language has a lot of flaws, but it's, I have to admit of course, there are a lot of flaws, but I think most of the flaws are just because people don't like dynamic languages, and I personally like dynamic languages, that's why I like JavaScript. And,
I,
I
I
mean,
guess you should just show the.
what's really amazing about JavaScript is it's so really it's so fast for a script language because so many people try to make it fast because it's on the web and everybody's using it, so it's better be fast. Um, that's what's really amazing about JavaScript, even though it is really difficult to optimize because of its design, but they still kind of made it.
Bye, Ispheris. Have a good night and sweet dreams.
Okay, bye.
Also, Felix, I think you should show that one picture again of Leia with JavaScript so that Colonius could
Yeah. I will have a hard time
sleep
sleeping.
it. No, Colonius isn't going to sleep,
Oh, okay, sorry.
but it was his programming teacher.
Mm-hmm. Who is it? Not very good at looking up these things. What? Where is it? I can't find it. It's weird. Ah, there it is. Man, come on, here. Here's your JavaScript picture. So yeah, CrossCode is made in JavaScript 100%. No Java. I actually don't like working with Java at all. I'm not a Java fan. It actually was one of my first programming languages, but I still don't like it. It's just too much, so much writing. You have to write so much stuff. It's so verbose. You have to cast all kind of stuff. You have to be so aware about your types, and it's really annoying, I think. But yeah, but it's hard to make mistakes, and you can. It's a very secure language in a way.
Well, it should be if it's used on the web.
No, I'm talking about Java.
Yes,
JavaScript is not
but
secure at
Java's
all. I mean, it's secure in the way that it's hard to actually do a lot of serious stuff with JavaScript because you cannot really
no,
access
but
your operating system, but you can you can make so many mistakes with JavaScript. It's actually unbelievable.
isn't Java also used in a lot of web applications in some
Well,
way?
it used to. I think these days it's not that often. There used to be
Yeah, these
Java
days not that
applets.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back in the day it was very
Mm.
very common.
All right. Let's focus now a bit. VM time for back to actually doing stuff.
And another question related to the topic. I've been programming for about a year through school, Java only. I wanted to start building some sort of portfolio. Would you recommend making a small game in JavaScript or Java first?
If you learn Java, maybe you should do it in Java first. I know it may just be easier that way, and it's possible to do games in Java because I mean Minecraft is done in Java, and
Yeah,
there are
true.
libraries to do that. So if you're focused on Java, just do it in Java, I would say. Unless you are actually really interested in doing web development too, then you might want to look into JavaScript and try to do some HTML5 game development. I think there's a certain future in this direction, though most people will just use it for small mini games and casual games. That's what you're gonna expect. But actually, I think if you want to get into the game industry, I think just implementing a game that works and looks good is always a very good reference. At least in
Mm.
Germany, that's what they told us that it's makes a huge
I
difference if
mean,
they can actually show them that you actually already did a game that works.
okay. Fred Pixel Ferrets. Is he part of the? Are you part of the real Pixel Ferrets or?
What? What?
So the
What?
obvious
Pixel ferrets? What? No.
Fred underscore Pixel Ferrets.
Maybe. That's cool that pixel ferrets are here. That's awesome. Cool. Hi there.
That's amazing. Hello.
Awesome.
So the obvious question on everyone's mind: why did you choose to make the game using JavaScript over the much superior RPG Maker
Yeah, I have no idea really. I
2003?
think we're just stupid. That's probably why.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also pixel movement. You can't do pixel movement in RPG Maker 2003 unless you want to kill. I don't know. It's just impossible. So
You have to
pixel movement.
sacrifice
There.
5 virgins
Yes.
to actually have pixel movement.
That's about what you have to do. Yeah. That's about right.
But speaking of, I mean, don't forget that the RPG Maker 2003, yeah, 2003 is available legally on Steam now, thanks to a friend of ours.
Yeah. Okay.
But that reminds me, I gotta play a bit more grindier in the future.
Mm-hmm. Actually, should play that a bit more too, I guess.
We we should play it in multiplayer one day. I mean, does it only has global, not global, local multiplayer, right? Or also global,
I know.
like online.
I think Fred can answer this one.
Fred, this is a dev stream. You have to answer questions now about Grindia. Does it have online multiplayer or just local?
Mhm. Well, now we are talking about critique of Grinder. I'm trying to figure out how to do this editor. So
Oh, no.
actually, I would
Online
just
co-op. That's
never
great.
mind that. I would just do something simple first. Okay, that's always a good
Didn't
idea.
we plan to actually also play games once in a while on this channel? I mean, Grindia would be uh,
Yeah, that would be
uh,
cool.
a good game for that. I mean, Grindia online co-op a bit
Mm.
on the Radical Fish channel.
Yeah, that would be nice. I think we should do this. Yeah, we just what? Yeah, we should plan this. Maybe you can do this next to the dev streams. Like have two streams
Like
in a week.
on Saturday maybe instead of when the dev stream is on Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. So
At some point. And then I'm gonna definitely play Dwarf Fortress in dev stream because that's or not in dev stream but a Dwarf Fortress stream because everyone will instantly see what it's about. Mhm. Another question from XX Luigi Mario. In my Cross Central account, it says I need to choose between 5 classes for my last minute hero character. Will you release more info about those in the future?
there is already some
Act
info, but it's probably not easy to find.
yeah, there is actually a blog post that contains all the info. But I guess in the future we will actually post more infos about them, at least indirectly,
Hmm.
because we are planning to also release some info about other characters of the game that
Hmm.
are um, that are also players in CrossCode, who of course would also be part of a character class.
I think for now
And
you might just look. Somebody already posted a blog post. I
mm,
suppose that's cool. What I might do is just add this blog post, link it from Cross Central, so people
yeah, it would be a good
actually
idea.
can read about the classes.
I mean, the same of course also applies for everyone who has like a higher tier perk, like an avatar perk or true avatar perk. They would also be part of a class most likely. Oh yeah, the post also contains some infos about the indie clicker thing
It does, yeah.
and our Ask Me Anything thing on Reddit. Good times. Remember those times on April the 11th when CrossCode still wasn't funded and we were worrying about everything
Yeah.
because it was so dire and everything. Ah. What games are you guys looking forward to? Well, mostly Xenoblade, of course.
Yep.
Xenoblade and what else? There are a few other games, but I kind of well, CrossCode, of course.
Derp.
Derp-de-derp. I'm also looking forward to the full version of Dwarf Fortress, which will be released at the same time as Half-Life 3.
Dwarf Fortress, yeah. I think Hannah might be about the only person on our team who is looking forward to this one.
Maybe in this channel, but not on the world.
Certainly not, yeah. The world is large enough
I
for that.
mean, I just want to remind you that the developer of that game gets like several $1,000s each month in donations for working on the game. So I
Not bad.
guess not bad, really.
Yep.
But then again, he has a extremely large and generous fan base. Okay.
Right.
What joke? Defender Quest 2? I think the joke went over Luxon's head. I
What
don't
kind
get it.
of joke?
Defender Quest 2. Because I don't get it either.
Yeah, but I'm not very good at getting jokes, so
I can vouch for that.
thanks.
Ups.
So, where am I?
On a chair.
Yeah, in Saarbrücken. That's
Oh, okay.
no.
Okay. Adlessa meant my Dwarf Fortress will be released the same day as Half-Life 3 joke. But I think Felix got that, or just didn't hear it, maybe.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that one. It was such a lame joke that he didn't even acknowledge it. So
Yeah, the thing is, I'm really
hello.
bad at multitasking, so I was actually making some progress here in programming. So obviously, I'm not paying enough attention to get jokes.
Yeah, that's normal. Who the heck is talking? I hear two voices. Well, it's Felix and his consciousness.
Yeah,
Consciousness.
yeah. So I'm Felix, aka Luxon. I'm one of more or less the lead developer and a creative director of CrossCode, you could say. So let's say it like this. And with me is Henne. He's a game designer at Radical Fish Games, also known as Geflügel, and he's connected by Skype. That's why you hear two people, but you only see me.
Hello. I only see the you only see the Felix because he's doing the stuff and also having his camera.
Yeah. You don't have a camera?
I do have a camera, but I'm not using it right now, and it would be a bit confusing to have another camera.
We can do stuff where we have several webcams on the display.
Yeah,
Actually,
but I
oh,
don't.
I just realized something I messed up last time. I'm gonna decrease the chat window size. That's something I really should try to do. That you actually
Mhm.
make sure that you see the most recent messages on the stream. That's something that didn't really work out during
Oh,
last time. Yeah,
that's.
have
I
to be
was wondering
careful.
actually.
So, okay, now you actually see the last chat message in the stream. So
Mhm.
there's not more delay than there already is.
That's good because the delay in Twitch is
As bad
on
as it
those
is
Twitch.
already. So,
Yeah. Also, Vandun is or Vandun, Vandun is visiting us today because after all those weeks that he wasn't able to apparently.
cool.
Uh, any pl- so hi. Any plans on making a 3DS version of CrossCode? Well, Felix, any plans?
Nope. That's a short version. Now, well, let's say like doing a 3DF version of CrossCode is really complicated because 3DS doesn't really support HTML5 games. You have to do it natively. You have to use C++ because 3DS is not really powerful enough to really run HTML5 game because HTML5 is not quite as efficient as a technology. And porting the whole game to natively 3DS is a lot of work, so it's not gonna happen anytime soon. It might happen if you're hugely successful and everybody loves this game so much, then we're gonna try to port it. But otherwise, it's not likely. Sorry.
Hmm? Mm.
Okay, I hope
That's a that's a good question. Do you expect some success with the game?
no.
No. Do you
It's
think
probably
gaming
gonna.
industry?
Sorry.
Do you think the gaming industry has room for this kind of game, 16-bit style?
I sure hope so. I think it's
I
it's kind
mean,
of it's kind of funny. Really, in the end, graphic style it's just a surface, you know. To me, doing the 16-byte graphics, it's not just about getting um, having this kind of nostalgia. It's also about having some kind of style that's feasible to do with a small development team. Because even if now let's just assume everybody hates pixel art all of a sudden again, it's kind of a problem for small teams because doing like very nice 3D graphics is a lot of work. So I'm not gonna say this. I really hope that some people at least will be that there will be always at least some market that you can access with pixel art games. And the problem it is that a lot of people think, yeah, let's just create small retro games with pixel graphic. There's nothing else about it. And if you do that, of course, if it's just in the end it will be a bad game. It's all about being retro, and pixel graphics not going to be a good game. So CrossCode is not like this. CrossCode
hmm,
tries actually we actually tried to create a game with pretty modern mechanics and a lot of depth to it. It's just that we choose retro style graphics because we think it still looks nice if you actually put a lot of effort in it, and it's something you can do as a small team. It's actually feasible, and so that's the whole idea here. That's my opinion at least. So
yeah,
okay,
and
did
I
work.
mean, first off, I mean you see that a lot of games with even if you come down to it, with even simpler graphics are very successful. Like, I mean, Risk of Rain, for example. I mean, look how simple the character models well, the enemies were a bit more complicated, but like the character models were basically like 10 pixels or so.
That's true.
And it's wildly successful, and I
Yeah,
mean, faster
it's
than
not so
light
much.
is.
I mean, that's the one thing that indie games really show us that it's not that much about having very. It's not so much about graphics, at least not about having the most modern graphics. I think the visual style of a game will always be important, but it's not about
Definitely.
having the highest resolution, having the most complex 3D graphics and the best effects. It's just about doing like you have to choose one style and you have to do it right. I think that's what's important. And even if the style is not perfect, there's a lot of other things. in a game that make it worthwhile, and that's also what you have in indie games a lot.
You also see in a lot of there are a lot of games that have really modern technology and very modern graphic style, and well, not really style, like great 3D graphics and all that on the technical side of things, but they still look like ass. If you if you're honest, I mean,
Yep.
or and especially the thing is that they don't really age all that well. I mean, think about the Nintendo 64 era back then. I mean, those games looked really great for the time, but they didn't really age all that well. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
most of them at least. But if you look at Super Nintendo uh, games, a lot of them who did have great graphics back then still look really awesome. Like for like Chrono Trigger, for example, or Seiken Densetsu 3. Those games
Yeah.
still look amazing if you look at them.
Yeah, in a way, I think so too. It's kind of, I think it depends. Like 3D graphic really develops so far that there's a huge gap between what
Mhm.
3D games were at this time and what they are today. But for 2D games, you don't have this huge gap. Obviously, there are more complex 2D graphics games too, but they can still compare, even those with a low resolution. So why the hell is
Mhm.
this not working? CSS, ladies and gentlemen. I'm editing the wrong file. That's why it doesn't work. Yeah, CSS is one of these things. A lot of people hate it. I actually like it. I used to hate it, but then I had to work with it for a couple of years, and then I started liking it. It's actually very productive once you get like the properties and you understand how the flow works. It can be very productive to see with what was it with CSS. All right, so
Mhm.
we got actually our first result now, editor. So we actually did something. Um, this here is our list editor. If you look closely, it's kind of like a very minimalistic version of our event editor we saw here. Let me show it again. You see? Look, there's this line here, and there's this arrow, and so we got the line here, and we got an arrow. Let's see what happens if I double click. Yes, something happens. And we got... Aha! Yes, now we got an empty tile set. There's no image. The reason for that is pretty
Yeah.
simple because the context is missing. It's well, it's a bit hard to explain right now. Usually, all the editors that are defined, they can just show the content depending on the value they get. Like if you have a number input, you get the value which says, yeah, the number is 42. They show, okay, so now show display, just display an editor with the number 42. So that's cool. Now here's something more complicated. The editor I'm currently writing is called tile animations. It's supposed to define the animations of a chipset. Let me just show you the data that you actually get. Actually, I have an example here. That's actually the data structure we try to target. We have an object. This object has a key map, and for each the keys is the URL of the chipset graphics. In this case, it's the autumn area graphics here. And then we got an object here which contains the animation field, and the animation field is just an array of arrays. Each array defines an animation. There are 4 tile indices, and we just iterate over those tile indices to show the animation. That's all the data we get. That's all the data which is really passed to the to our editor. The problem here is we don't know what graphics that actually is. So we don't know what to display because we of course want to display the tile set and then show which of these tiles are now actually active for animation. To do this, we need to request a context. That's something we already had in our editor system, which is more or less working. And I actually implemented already the request for the context. Let me just see where that happens. That should be tile info edit JS, exactly. So here in the tile animations editor, no, not really. It's a tile animation editor actually. That would be image. Actually, let me just delete all of this here because this crap shouldn't be defined here. It's probably good. It's only gonna break stuff. Image edit. I guess I'll put it here then. Yeah, here it is. So this one is a context editor. A context editor means now this editor actually depends on the context it is placed in. And what I do here is I say, okay, the context key is called tileset. And depending on what key we get, we can create the context editor here. And the value of this tileset will be the graphics URL. And I think I can try to set a breakpoint and see what happens. And I would expect nothing. Either it's not called or it will be called with null or something like this. Let me just check. Image edit down here, context editor, tile animation, flop. Let's update. And if I now double click, yes, it's called. You see, the context value is null, and the value is yeah, it's nothing because there is no value. Even though that's actually not correct, there should be a value. Okay, I think there are like several errors as usual. There's always a multitude of errors. Maybe we should first find out why the value here is null, because that's not correct anyway. In the first, so that's already the first thing that's not correct. Let's just go back, trace back the call stack. That's something we can do pretty easily here. Add step, nope, anomalous.
Hey Teflo.
Oh, hey Teflo, how are you?
Oh, hi Teflo. How are you?
Hey Teflo, if you want to join our Skype chat, I think we can do that if you want to.
Hey doggy.
Just write us in Skype or something if you want to. Anyway, so why don't we not get the...
We got 2 more questions. If you can push them in between.
Sure, ask ahead.
Why should I ask ahead? I'm asking you. You're more than ahead.
Can somebody what do you say, mute Hannah for some time? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, maybe you know Fez. Really nice game.
Fez, yeah, heard of it.
And Stefan is saying from a mysterious place, Fez is awesome. Well, I personally have never played it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I guess it is awesome.
It has a very nice style.
Yeah, definitely.
It has this kind of combination of 2D and 3D, and you don't even notice it's 3D at first, so that's very cool. Okay, so here we see the value is null. It should not be null. It should be something better than null. So let's see. The current tile set, is that correct? Yes, it is. The data we get, is that correct?
Hello, Stefan.
Hi there.
And another question, especially for you, Felix. So how does it feel to actually work full-time now, Kappa?
Yeah, first we still have to really get into the flow, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's in a way it's relaxing because now I decided to just work full time on the game, so I don't have to worry about like how I should weight my time between game and not game. So that's actually pretty cool. At least I know, at least for me, I now can focus on one thing, and that actually helps.
I guess one of the biggest feelings that we had, and I guess still have, is that we are glad that Indiegogo is over and it actually worked out. So that's feeling kind of. I mean, it's always a good feeling to have like this security.
Okay.
Financial security. Radical invasion. Oh no, we have a radical invasion in our radical fish games chat.
How could this happen?
How could this happen to us?
So weird. Okay, a small update about coding here. Now the reason why nothing works, so I don't get any values, because for some reason it tells me here that the tile set that's currently selected is cargo ship inner, which is not correct because we currently have autumn outside, so something is not right here. We're selecting the initial tile set. I'm gonna check that.
Adlessa is asking, should I rename my account to Radical Adlessa?
Here we go.
No. I mean, you would need to make another new account, I think. Don't.
I would also probably just call me Luxon.
Yeah,
If it's
and I'm all,
available. If now somebody creates a Luxon account, I'm probably gonna go.
and I'm also not called Radical Geflügel, so I guess.
Yeah.
And Intero is also not called Radical Intero, right?
Well,
I'm not sure how an Intero is called.
yes, it works. Look, now we actually got a couple of animations. Look, these are actually now the indices of all the individual animation frames. So if I now double click this one, we will still get an empty field because that bug is actually not fixed. I can actually open this one by edit and we get again nothing, but at least now we got the proper value. So that's already working. The only thing.
Radical Music Summer. Radical Mr. Music.
So let's go on. Any more questions?
Nope. Just some new people that came in, like Psyduck Sokso
Hi there.
is here. Hello.
So I can thanks everybody for watching. It's so cool that people actually watch me doing this coding stuff.
Even on a Monday.
Yeah, even on a
But then
Monday.
again, I guess normally the Monday should be even more successful because now people could watch us and still watch Tatort on Sunday. But then again, yesterday was no Tatort, so I guess we missed an opportunity here.
Yeah, to get maximum view counts.
Yep.
Sure. Stefan wants me to show you how the current progress looks like. That's something we can do in between. So you're working on Rookie Harbor. Let me start in the Thoughts map because this one is actually more or less complete now, of course, minus actual NPCs, but at least the maps is already looking pretty decent. Now this is gonna not run too well. Let me just start the Node WebKit version. And we don't need music. Okay.
Never say that.
Not right now, at least. So, sorry. So, teleport.
Oh, the enter game code is also new.
Yeah, that's new too. I can show this one a bit later. So, okay, this is now Rookie Harbor getting more towards completion. You actually can jump down here, destroy some cargoes, and yeah, there's a lot of detail going on here. So that's about. Whoa, there's a little bug here, huh? Maybe I didn't update or something. Maybe because of some graphics changes anyway. So we're gonna fix that. So, but up here we got now a new area. It might not be the most up-to-date version.
Yes.
I didn't update, so it's pretty empty right now. But hey, look, here's the marketplace. Of course, a lot more detail is gonna be added here later on. So, and of course you have stuff like you can walk below here, and then you can go up here, and I would like to jump here or whatever. That was cheating, and I can go
Yes.
over it, and oh, something's
It's
wrong with this collision yet. But yeah, that's a rough idea.
Well, we have an important question now. Where is the shop selling Dogger?
It's gonna be added. We promise it will be there in the final game somewhere.
It will be the best shop.
As you can see, we actually have some secret passages here already. That's something that Stefan added. And right now, when you go here, you're stuck forever and you have to restart the game, but you will be able to enter the house here and then leave in a way. So,
The map is really pretty, to be honest. I mean, look at it.
yep. But now I'm stuck and I have to use jetpack powers. Okay. So that's the current progress with maps. So you can see we actually did some content development too.
Do footstep sounds change depending on terrain?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Let me show an example again.
Even in the autumn area, they are different depending on.
Look, so here we have the normal sounds, and now go to the park area. You can see. I mean, you can hear. Now we are stepping on grass. And this feature, yeah, as I wanted to say, you have the same already in the intro. If you just listen closely when you walk over the bridge, you actually hear
In
different
the
foot
intro as
sounds.
well,
Mm-hmm.
right? In the intro and in the autumn area.
The autumn area too, yeah. But those are actually very subtle, so you might not hear the difference too much.
I do notice it, but
Okay.
that's maybe because I played it a lot.
Yeah. Right. So much about map progress. Now let's continue with programming. And actually, something I wanted to show you is something you will be able to get if you visit us and role-playing conventions. You get the sparkling layer, and you will actually get a secret code, which will probably not stay secret for a long time. But anyway, oh, here's a bug. Crap. So once you get the secret code, will have sparkling layer, and she's just gonna sparkle wherever she goes. And also, when you jump,
Eh?
you get a very nice sparkle effect. It's very shiny and fabulous. Fabulous, what's fabulous, fabulous,
Fabulous,
fabulous,
fabulous,
fabulous. Exactly.
fabulous.
It's fabulous.
Just think of Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
So yeah, that's all I can show you with recent progress. Okay, let me just open monitor again.
Just look at how pretty it is. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Okay. So where was I?
So as far as I understand it, you basically get those get the code for those sparkle shoes from those flyers that we hand out, right?
Yes, exactly. It's some kind of trading card you actually collect there.
Yeah.
So if you visit
Yeah, right,
our
right.
booth at the role-playing convention, you will not only get like we will tell you that you can buy CrossCode on early access, which you will already know, I guess,
Mhm.
and you get a small code that you can use to get those sparkling shoes. And
Mhm.
we're not going to tell you the code because that would be too easy, but I think it will spread pretty quickly anyway.
Um, who's Tiku? Tiku is the question, and he's actually the only one who's not German. He's from Austria, and
Yes.
he is. If you're looking at the credit page, he should be under graphics somewhere. I mean, his first name is, or his real name is Daniel Tillmann, so he should be should be there somewhere normally. Sparkling shoes.
The bit of current tile. That's the one I think. I'm just gonna cheat here a bit.
Germany, Austria, aka Germany, 0.5 or 0.5.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't, but Stefan said that.
Oh yeah, that's may start some conversations.
About the that's that's a great proposition from Van Doon. Lea Comet Made Outfit DLC. When?
Hmm. Hmm. That's the what
Yes.
that's the point where I really regret not having 3D models because doing outfits would be so much easier.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for additional outfits for Lea, we would basically make entirely new graphics for basically everything.
Yeah, let me
For
just show
the
you how many poses Layer has to get the impression if you didn't see this already. No, okay, player layer. So that's not even all of it. That's just maybe like a 70%. And when we talk about the final game, that's probably going to be about 50 or to 30%. Now,
yeah,
imagine doing all of these poses with a different kind of outfit. It takes some time, you know. That's a lot of work. That's the big downside of doing 2D sprites, especially those that are visible from all kind of directions. So you have to do a lot of all the details need to be handcrafted, and replacing those details is a lot of work. That's why we're gonna do the ninja skin, but probably not many more skins.
Yeah, the ninja skin, and I mean, it's always a question how successful the game will be in the end, and how the
Yeah.
demand is for new outfits. But I guess additional outfits would really be paid DLC stuff
Yeah,
because
it probably will be paid because doing that for free really is
yeah, I mean for free we would rather make
rather
I don't
work on a
know
new game
on a new game or on additional areas or something
or
because
something
that would
like
be
this. Yeah, more interesting, really. You
more
actually,
interesting for most players.
where was I here? Tile infos, update animation editor.
That's
Okay.
also Adlessa posted a link to a nice looking other indie game from Germany
Hmm.
called Super Bad Puncher, which looks pretty nice to be honest.
Super bad puncher.
Super Bad Puncher, like Batman.
Okay.
Batman. Batman. Or Bad Puncher.
So now, just a small update. What I'm doing right now is for a second. This request context method is called once an editor requests the context, and this is now tile animations is kind of like the parent editor, and this one will just if the tile set context is requested, which happens in one of the sub editors here. In that case, I would just return now the current tile set, which is globally accessible through our current activator, which is not like very clean code, but for now it works. And by doing this, I should be able to get the tile set source, and let's see if that works out.
Um, how many frames are there for every character?
That's hard to say. I mean, it really depends on what character you're talking about. Leia
Definitely.
probably has by far the most frames of all characters because she's a playable character, and it
Obviously.
works. So look at this. We now got the graphics. So let me just open this one. And yeah, okay. At least we see something. No, we don't actually. Oh, yes, we do see something, but it's not correct. Now I actually started working on some kind of editor that displays the selected tiles, but apparently it's not working. So gotta still need to do some work here. Mm,
And what about general NPCs, as in other players? You are in an MMO after all. So any crazy outfits there? I guess. Why not?
sure, NPCs will be all have all kind of outfits, I guess. So we can be pretty creative there. Um,
And then another really interesting question. Is there any way to make sprites from 3D models? 3D models are easy to modify. And then he adds Red Alert 2 sprites were made from 3D models. And I think Red Alert 2, he means Command and Conquer 2, Command and Conquer Red
I think
Alert
so.
2,
Yeah.
I think. Then
Um,
again,
yeah.
those. Okay, then another one adds that those were handmade, apparently.
Really?
So,
But I know this technique, so there's an option of just creating 3D models and then rendering those 3D models to sprites. And the problem really is creating 3D models is a lot of work. That's the first problem. And we don't have any expertise in doing 3D models, so we need somebody to help us there. And then the question is, why don't we just display 3D models in the first place? The next problem is that just if you render 3D models, to sprites, they won't look like our current sprites. You will most
mhm.
definitely need to edit those by hand, which again is a lot of work because if you just decide for using 3D models and convert into sprites and just keep the style that way, then it's fine. But we already have a very hand-drawn sprite style, and you cannot simply convert 3D models to this style. It's not easy. Okay.
Well, Colonials, I'm not sure if they were handmade or not. I mean, the Command and Conquer sprites, I could be either way. I mean, they were pretty simple sprites, weren't they? But then again, I haven't played the newer games, so I don't know, honestly.
So what's tileways?
Bottom line is that it wouldn't be feasible for CrossCode doing that.
Yep. Oh, step size is 8. That's not how it should be. It should be 16. Why? Why is it 8? Okay, something is wrong here. Okay, so what's tile size? It's undefined. What?
Okay.
Default tile size is undefined? Oh, come on. Yeah, just give me a second. I think I know why this might be.
Oh no, of course, the CrossCode sprites are handmade. Of course, yeah.
Yes, the CrossCode sprites, they are handmade, most definitely. You can actually see me doing them by hand in the stream sometimes. Or other people too. So where are we? Oh my gosh, let me just add this here. So now it should work. I don't know.
Oh, we have mysterious deleted messages again in chat. I wonder why that is.
I know. People talk about crazy
Naughty stuff, crazy stuff.
And they're just gonna delete it.
It's so great that we have Atlas as a mod to keep order and keep everyone in line. I mean, otherwise it would be anarchy.
Yes, anarchy. People talking about weird stuff and stuff.
Weird stuff that doesn't exist, like witchcraft. Okay. Kovac posted a link about the
Still
3D to 2D.
What?
3D to 2D model.
Oh, come on. Totally should work now. Why does it not work?
Interesting.
You know what? Never mind. I will just say 16. It's just... You know, programming. At one point you just don't care and then you start hacking. Whatever. Yes! Look at it! Look at it! Here! So here we got it.
Wait.
Yeah, you have to deal with the delay, sorry, Hannah. So we got
No, I was just watching something different, but it's okay.
Yeah, so now we got it kind of like how we wanted it. We have our chipset here, and first we see one of the tiles here. That's the first tile of the animation, and then the other tiles of the animation. So this already kind of works. And yeah, this essentially means we can now display our animation tiles. Let me just show the different ones. Again, there's a second tile and the alternative animations. And here's the third one and the animation variants. So now something that's currently confusing is with this editor you will be able to select the same tile twice, which is kind of required because you have 3 tiles and 4 animation frames, and in fact you have first this tile, then this tile, and then this tile again. and that's why you should be able to select the same tile multiple times if required. And you don't see this right now, and I actually wanted to draw this in a way that in the corner you actually see which number of the animation frame that actually is. So this one would be 1, this one would be 2, this one would be 3, and this one would be 4 again, kind of like this. I think we can actually implement this now. This would be a next nice step, I think. Yep.
Is it right that on Cross Central I can only see my perk and else I can't do anything? Well, Urinstein already answered this. Certain perks might need you to add some information, like the avatar perks, for example.
Yeah, and it might
Or
also be that some other perks might require you to add additional information later on in the future, and then we will just add those information in the form, and then we just write your mail and tell you, hey, please add additional information that we require. So Cross Central right now is pretty empty, but we will add more stuff there over time. It's just one platform that we will use for communication for the following months.
Yep, and it just makes everything easier for everyone.
Especially for us.
Yeah. And of course, you will also need to type in your address for the physical perks, like for the T-shirt and the poster.
Yep. Actually, a lot of people didn't provide their address for the physical perks, especially those getting the poster. Please check Cross Central and add your address if it's not specified. So, to-do draw numbers. Look, I actually added a to-do here to remind me that I need to do this. Let's just copy this here.
By the way, we're already going for 1.5 hours again. Man, this really goes by fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. At least want to roughly get the editor done. So
yeah,
I might be
guess
able to get this done in half an hour if I now focus on the code.
I guess we won't do like 4 hours this time, but I mean, it's kind of normal that we do longer than 2 hours. But I guess we will also write an update later, so or maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
We will write an update once we release early access. I think that makes sense.
Good idea. So
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow or the day after or something. By the way, pro tip, Twitch runs much smoother if you don't download stuff meanwhile.
Do I download stuff?
What?
Was this for me or somebody else?
No, for me.
Okay.
But I didn't realize that.
Did you have some torrents running or what exactly?
Maybe.
Oh my.
Not saying anything, but no, seriously, something was downloading, and that's why the Twitch stream was really laggy at the beginning for me. But I've closed them like an hour ago. What is a Bäcker? A wonderful pile of sweetness. But enough talk. Come back me.
Oh gosh.
I guess we should throw away some wine glasses now.
Don't have any here though.
Damn it.
Oh look, now rendered stuff and it's undefined. And undefined. And again, undefined. What the Why is it undefined?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because here.
Early access that soon? Yes. because first off, there are a lot of people who actually asked us if they can support us otherwise in the future, even if Indiegogo is over. And also, we are kind of on a marketing high right now, so to speak, because with Indiegogo we got quite some press and quite some attention from different sources. So it would be a good a good time to actually go right into the long-term early access.
Hey, look at people, look at, I did it. So now we have small numbers displayed now, rectangles. So you see this is tile number 0, this is tile number 3, there's actually a 1 hidden behind that 3, and this is tile number 2. So next thing I'm gonna try is to make it work that those numbers are not overlapping. So if you show the second number for the same tile, we actually move it over to this corner. That's what I'm gonna do next.
Another question from EdgyDine20. So I'm at EdgyDine from Twitter. When and how will I send my address for the poster because of the Easter challenge? That's a good question.
Oh my, good that you remind me about that. Yes, that's something we almost forgot. We have to add the perks for the Easter challenge because those people just got regular perks, right? I will contact
Yeah.
you this week. Let me just write a to-do for this. Oh my gosh.
That reminds me. I mean, shouldn't you do the same for the artwork contest?
Yes,
For the
that
fan art
too.
contest?
Okay, integrate to-do, integrate competition perks. Yeah. Easter challenge
And
and
fan art
contest. Yes. So I will contact you and write you about your perk stuff and what kind of email you want to use. And you will just get access to the same system and can add the same data. That's also very nice for us to have one system to deal with all the perks, no matter where they come from. If it's no Indiegogo or some whatever, we will probably use the same system because we actually plan to provide the perks in the future too. Most likely over something like Humble Bundle widget. That's at least one idea we have. We still have to see if that works out, but then you will get access to the same system. Yeah. Okay, I noted this down.
Another question from. Okay, I can barely read the name in this. Okay, from Railway. It's not really a question. It's rather I didn't understand how the system of the early access works, and then our Dr. Urinstein answered, "Early access works like this: you get a Steam code, and Steam will download a broken mess of a game for you."
Only
Oh,
CrossCode
okay.
will not be a program mess, hopefully.
Hopefully not. Yes.
I mean, you know how well the demo works, and you can expect they will try to keep this kind of quality. Because once you have a working game version, obviously it will never break, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, of course, it might be that the game breaks, but we will try to keep a high
Don't
quality.
tell that to DK, please.
Yes. Yeah, I think.
But
DK has early access, right? Damn it.
of course, I mean he has like I think avatar perk or something, or even no, I think he even has the quest perk.
Could be, yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, I have Herr DK has made this wonderfully hilarious Super Mario 64 Chaos Edition Let's Play, and I kind of promised him almost, or rather jokingly promised him that we would make a CrossCode Chaos Edition just for him.
Oh shit! No. Oh my.
Well, Van Doon, he he said that you do know that Herr DK has access to your game. It will break probably anything in there, eh? You got to see it this way. He's an ideal beta tester. I mean, he has already done some pretty great testing in the past with the those bugs he found in the early demo with the special attacks, with which he could just launch himself in the air and then dodge out of it.
Maybe there's still a video online somewhere That was
I
actually
think
pretty
so.
cool.
I think I still have it, maybe.
If you
I
find
mean,
it, you can post it.
it wasn't listed, but I think I have saved it somewhere. Okay, where is it? Where is it? CrossCode, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm currently just doing some weird master stuff to determine where to display the text, so just ignore me.
Don't ignore Felix, for God's sake. Okay, I think I don't have it anymore. Maybe,
Too
or
bad.
maybe.
Haha, this is like a very minimal way to do this. This is awesome, I like it.
Yeah, CrossCode Chaos Edition would be like you can't shoot balls anymore, or layer size increased by 500%, and hitbox reduced by 90%.
Oh shit.
Or stuff like what would also be great, like those gravitational pull things that all the enemies and all those. No, just imagine, Felix. All the entities on a map will get pulled towards Leah, like in the Chaos Edition.
Oh gosh. This would just break the game instantly.
Especially on this one map, on this one auto map with the thousands of entities.
1,500 things. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah, not sure that's actually even enjoyable in a way.
it wouldn't be that easy, I guess. Yes, at lesser. CrossCode Attack on Titan Edition. Hit the button, Feuerroter Pfeil und Bogen starts playing, and all enemies are 500% in size.
Shit. Oh, exactly. So let's see if that works.
But I guess it would rather be Feuerroter Pfeil und Ball or something. Or Feuerroter Ball und Schleuder, oder?
Yeah.
Ah. By the way, Felix, I don't know if I've shown you already, but Xenoblade X has a few songs with German lyrics again.
Lurch.
But of course, they are so impossible to understand that they
That's
might as well
nothing
be
new.
like Japanese or something, or Chinese or something.
Manly as Zelda. Nope. Nope.
Mainly as Zelda, yes.
Look at now it's 0, and they're all the same. Something's not right. Oh yeah, like very old style programming mistake. Instead of using two equal signs, you just use one. Everything is screwed up. I don't know why that happened. I think I might just change the default zoom mode. It's like way too high. But look. So now we have 0, 1, 3, and 2. Look, you actually see what each of the tiles is. Actually, not. It's not. It's kind of confusing, but it works. So this is 0. This is 1. This is 2, and this one is 3 again. So I actually see all the numbers now for the individual tiles. So that works. Yay. It's not readable in this resolution though.
Well, it's a shame. CrossCode Electronic Arts Edition. Please pay uh, $0.99 to unlock the main menu.
Yeah, exactly.
CrossCode Sonic Edition. Gotta go fast. Or even better, CrossCode Sonic 2006 Edition. Nothing works. And and Leia is a small girl who has a relationship with a anthropomorphic animal. Please no.
Uh,
Oh no, wait, now I'm seeing the fan arts of Leia and Sonic.
what did you do, Hannah?
No.
So let me just change that default zoom mode. Yeah.
Ah, Cross CrossCode Goat Simulator Edition. Break all the rules. Okay.
So,
Cro-
alright, so now we got that thing, and now the question is, can we actually create new tile animations? Let's see if that works. So first I'm gonna double
the
click
question
to
is,
create a
Deku.
new. Click first, and it does not work. Yay, I
No.
guess. No. So let's do some breakpoint and see why it does not work. hmm So what is the tile? So that sounds about right. Right clicked.
CrossCode. Yeah,
Oh,
CrossCode.
yeah, it's sorted. Right clicked. Sorry, just go on.
Of course, CrossCode Shulk Edition. I'm really feeling it. it's such it's such a shame that so many people, I think, don't really even play Xenoblade, but only know I'm really feeling it. But then again, it's pretty awesome that Xenoblade got so much attention thanks to Smash.
Mm.
I'm really feeling it.
I know why it doesn't work. Holy crap.
Now it's Ryan time, but we mustn't be careless.
Ha. Okay, so the reason why it doesn't work is actually something I already saw coming. That this might be a problem. Has something to do with our editor system. It's hard to explain though. Whenever I say it's hard to explain, I have to think about Ninja intro cards.
They had to explain. Ninja info cards. Ninja, ninja, ninja.
Oh gosh,
Ninja
it's
info cards.
horrible.
It's
Uh,
amazing.
okay, so
CrossCode
this one
Ubisoft
needs.
Edition. Please log into your DRM manager after Steam, which always claims you don't own this game. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would go even further. I would say CrossCode SimCity Edition. Don't play it. Play City Skyline. CrossCode DayZ Edition. Everything's broken. Okay. Yes, we will keep on and on and on. And I see your strength is a genuine article. Right, Felix?
Yes, my favorite quote. That's why you find.
It really is the best quote.
That's why you find it in
Well,
CrossCode. At least genuine article thing.
yeah, right. But we also, well, another great quote is the one with the team quote of Fiora and Melia and Shulk.
Hmm?
If anyone knows that one, you know the one about
Oh yeah.
Shulk has to still learn a lot about the gentler sex.
uh,
Yeah, those are amazing.
so let's see if it works now.
No, it's in the air
And
tile.
it does. Yes, look, I just selected the first tile. Amazing. Now I'm gonna scroll down here and click here. Let's see if got the right one. And I should remove that breakpoint. Magic! I set the second tile. Now I click here and yes, I set the
Dum,
third
dum,
tile with
dum.
the number 2 because programmers start counting with 0, which is confusing. Now I start here again and I set tile number 3, which is the last fourth tile. Yes, it works, everybody. Now we got our animation defined. I click done, and here I have exactly the same animation I already defined beforehand. So all of the stuff I did had no point whatsoever, but it works. We just created a
I
tile
did.
animation editor. If I now save, it will not work because I still have to implement the save routine. But that's maybe something I will do another time. So um, I think that's actually you now got some impression how editor programming works, and you probably saw there's a lot of stuff going on here, and a lot of work. And unfortunately, that's true game development. If you are stupid as we are and do your own engine, it comes with a lot of work you have to do creating actually editors. But we did most of the editor stuff, and with the current system, we actually pretty fast creating new stuff, even though it didn't really look fast maybe, but creating such an editor in like 2 hours is actually pretty fast, I think. So
I see your programming is a genuine article.
yes, thank you. Okay, so
Uh, do you know how to use Adobe?
Felix face, I insist. What is this?
I think I know which one it is. Yeah, it's safe for work.
Programmers while coding. It works. Why? I don't
CrossCode,
know. But it works. Yeah.
CrossCode Emiya Shiro edition. People die if they are killed. Well,
Yes.
they actually don't in CrossCode.
Yeah.
Okay, I will just. What the fuck? CrossCode was a mistake. It's nothing but trash. Henne, 2050. Yeah, that quote is about as authentic as the Miyazaki quote, in that it isn't.
What? Where did you see that quote?
Um, it's a bit further up. Do you know this how is he called? Hayao Miyazaki, that Ghibli guy. There is
Nope.
this quote by him that says, "Anime was a mistake. It's nothing but trash."
And he
But
never
it's
said that or what?
yeah, he didn't say that, but it's actually a fake quote. But someone posted it somewhere, and now it gets retweeted on Tumblr every now and then. But but unironically, because most people on Tumblr are naive, I would say, and so
Mm.
they just retweet it uncritically. Okay,
Yo.
CrossCode Pokemon Edition. Catch NPCs and enemies with balls.
Mm.
CrossCode Dragon Ball Z Edition. It's over 9,000. Well, we actually did already have Dragon Ball Z over 9,000 reference. So
Yep. Somewhere hidden.
CrossCode Monster Hunter Edition. Takes 1 hour to defeat one enemy. I guess. Okay. Do you know how to use Adobe?
Yes. I've been using Adobe since I was 16 years old, so I roughly know how it works. So there are probably people who know it better. But yeah, there always are people who know it better, I guess.
CrossCode Peter Molyneux Edition.
Yeah.
It will be it will be a real life virtual artificial reality, advanced reality, right? AR. AR is advanced reality, I think.
Yeah, it's augmented
MMORPG,
reality.
augmented reality, right?
Yeah.
Simulator with millions of character classes. Delivers CrossCode. Well, I
Hmm?
disagree because CrossCode actually has a solid groundwork and gaming systems that actually work together. Compared to like Fable that has a lot of gaming concepts that don't really work together all that well.
Okay.
I mean, Peter Molyneux is not just infamous for his promises, but also that his games aren't often seem like very incomplete or some, and not just incomplete, but also oftentimes those game concepts don't really uh, mesh really well together. Like,
CrossCode Hearts Adventures Edition. Oh gosh. There will be towers and they will be destroyed.
yes, definitely. That's so misleading. In Monster Hunter, you can kill in 5 minutes if you are good. Well, I think so too. I mean, I personally have never played Monster Hunter, but I don't think that you really need an hour to kill most enemies. Yeah, I know it, Les. I got the joke, but well, his games aren't always bad, but the thing that often bothers me about many Peter Molyneux games is that they don't really. He often has so many concepts that don't really seem like they matter much for the game. Like in Fable, you could basically buy so much stuff to get money, and you need money to buy that stuff, but you don't really need money for anything gameplay related. In
Right.
the
So,
anyway,
about stream stuff. So now we hit the 2 hours mark, which would be like the minimum time for a stream. Though I would like to do a bit of drawing. That was actually one idea I had. If people don't mind, because I actually like ending the stream with a bit of drawing. So today I thought, hey, well, how about we draw like an offline image for the CrossCode stream for our Twitch channel here? Because right now it's just saying offline, that's not so interesting. And I actually thought, let's just, at least the idea I had, let's just take the original stream image, but instead of Lair just working on the machine, she's just sleeping on the desk because she's offline. So
yeah,
unless maybe people have some other ideas, so any suggestions how the offline image for our Twitch channel should look like. If you have any cool ideas, I may change my mind right now. So just go ahead. Probably should stop saying my ideas first and first ask about ideas
yeah.
because people are less influenced that way.
By the way, we are the number one game development channel again. Yay!
Ooh, awesome.
Like at the moment, but we do have some another one who's also German who has almost
Oh,
50. So, ooh.
very close.
Yeah. Anyway, can I play it? You do know about this spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, right?
Sure, yes, I heard about it.
They just revealed, well, just yeah, like 20 minutes ago, they revealed another character. That's a pretty cool design, I think.
Cool.
It's basically a snake with trousers and a hat and a
Okay.
tie. I mean,
A
look at
tie,
this.
okay.
It's amazing.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, this looks pretty cool. How do these pens work? Oh my gosh, come on, what? It's,
They, th-
they don't
I'm
seem
more
very
interested.
practical.
I don't really more interested in how he actually moves, because if
Yeah.
he would remove his back end from the trousers to move, then the trousers wouldn't fit anymore unless he readjusts his belt. So totally unrealistic. Would not play.
Yeah. What the hell? It's a very funny idea, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We have to steal it.
Hmm. Sleeping layer with a hedgehog plushie. Maybe I will add a hedgehog plushie to the image. That's an idea at least.
But wouldn't she like poke herself?
Well, it's like very soft hedgehog plushie,
Okay,
like I guess.
okay.
Like
Well, I got.
the needles are fluffy instead of
Okay,
sharp.
that makes sense. I kind of imagine now that Leia has a hedgehog hairbrush, like
Hmm?
to brush her hair. She uses a hedgehog hairbrush, like in the form of a hedgehog, hedgehog basically.
Okay.